The origin of Tantoel. The air condition of Madura Island barely provides water. Long time ago, wells were dug hundreds of meters for water in the valley and mountainside, but only few spots of water. Some holes were open without any waters. In fact, the wells that had water would run dry when the drought came. In a small village in Madopote, an area between Batang-Batang and Batu Putih, there lived a husband and wife, Matali and Sunima. They led a loving life despite not having any children in their old age. They had been married for 25 years, but no child was born to bring more joy and completeness in their life. Sunima tirelessly prayed and fasted to ask God for a child. So did Matali. He even wittingly went to some sums for help, so that they would have a baby soon. He had done all the advice from the simplest to the most difficult one, such as sleeping out in Rongkorong Hill 40 days, but with no success. Matali and Sunima had spent their wealth to visit shamans and pay for the ritual expense in order to have a child. Moreover, their well was all gone because they had finance to pay to a cruel and stubborn king. The king was widely known with the name King Tulkemek Panakeron, who ruled Madopote. Madopote was actually a rebellious kingdom whose illegal authority was still under the leadership of Panembahan Joharsari, the king of Sumenep. King Dulkemek gave an order that every childless family must pay 400 chan each month. The king claimed that the money would be used to pay workers who were assigned to collect water from the valley hill and rivers that still had water. Those workers did the job every day to fulfill the need of water in the king's palace. Families who had children were free from the fine. They just had to send their children collect water to the king. The cruel king became more merciless when the drought came. He would call hurriedly order underage children to collect water in the whole day. Whenever those children took a break or fell exhausted, the king would tell his soldiers to lash and punish them. The king's behavior had put the people in anxiety. Those children's family had to pay the fine, while those who had children would have to watch their little kids carrying buckets full of water in hot sun. They also had to helplessly watch their kids get tortured under the surveillance of the king's soldiers. Even worse, the people had a severe shortage of water because the king had taken most supply to the palace. One day, Matali and Sunima had no choice but to roast cassava for food because the water they had left was only enough for wudu. Most of their neighbors complained that suffer from the king's pitiless policy. Many children often arrive home bruised or injured, while the others were found exhausted and weak. Upon arriving home, many of the children got sick because throughout of the day, they were forced to bring water from several wells that were many kilometers away from Madopote. Days after, it was not only the children who got sick to the cruelty, but also their parents. They were getting sick because of the mental pressure resulting from watching their children being tortured every day. Almost everyone in Madopote were sick. Only few were able to recover, but many died. of their sickness. Eventually, water problem became worse, triggered a new problem among the people. Other than disease and mental stress, some people had to die from fighting each other for water. At the time, Madurese people considered water rare and the most precious object that deserved protection and fight to the death. Since then, a fight to the death was not only a matter of protecting the wife from the other man's seduction, but also protecting water. Matali and Sunima had to face another dark and sad fact. Almost every day, they found their neighbors dead with their bodies covered in blood, slashed with chlurid. Matali and all his fellow neighbors were just peasants who were powerless to overthrow the cruel king. They just keep praying all the time for the water problem. However, they also tried to find a new wellspring for several spots in the area. From the valley from the rocky hill, they patiently tried to the locate the spring in spite of harsh obstacle. Their attempts nevertheless did not find a good resolution. Discovering spring in Madopote was as difficult as finding a needle in a haystack. A spring was located in the side of Montara Hill. Hand in hand, the people dug the spring into and secretly so that the king would not know it. After digging 16 meters deep, water spurted out sweetly. The people smiled happily. Since then, the people began to take water from Montara Hill through a secret path so that the palace will know it. Many were happy with the wellspring, including Matali. Things were getting better and better for Matali when he found his wife 3 months pregnant. Matali just could not be happier. The happy moment, however, lasted 2 months only. Afterward, he had to face sad fact. The well discovered by the neighbor was taken by the palace. One of the neighbors betrayed and informed the king about the well location. King Dulkemek Panakeron was furious. He did not just arrogate the well from the people but also put Matali into jail. When Sunima's pregnancy was 5 months old, Matali had to leave his sweet wife to serve prison. The king hated Matali so much for helping his neighbors discovering the well. Each day, Matali had to endure punishment from the king. In jail, Matali had to go through painful days. Each day he was with the cursed well, Holbeck is of feeling that missed the sweet pregnant Sunima so much. He should have lived happy days with his pregnant wife after years long of for a child, but they were spared instead. In her late pregnancy, Sunima often had dreams of which she met her husband on hill. When they're hugging each other, water burst out from dozens of springs between rocks. As soon as water streamed down the hill, the king suddenly came without any guard. Strangely, in her dream, the king had a teeny physical figure instead of his real big and strong figure, the king that bent his knee before Matali. When the king was bending his knees, Sunima usually woke up from her sleep. She sweated. Her feelings were mixed between scare and happiness for having a dream to see her husband who was in jail. After 9 months, the awaited baby came. It was a boy. He was born on Friday at daybreak. Sunima was alone when she gave birth to her son. Then Sunima's son was given the name Landaur. The neighbors were so happy with the name that every day they called the baby name when her mother was crying him in their house terrace. Years later, Landaur grew to a handsome, bright-skinned, tall, and strong young man. In his 15 years old age, Landau had already been interested in visiting different places to learn the condition of the village in Madopote. He was also a healer for his 6 neighbors. Therefore, he chose to move from one place to another in order to be able to help 6 people. The people around Madopote felt so proud and to have Landauer. They took him as their new hero. From day to day, the neighbors were getting excited to be visited by Landauer. In addition to his healing activity, Landauer also provided them with advice and support. Eventually, the king heard about Sunima's son, King Dulkamak Panakaron, ordered some girls to meet Sunima and asked her to send her son to collect water for the king. Arriving at Sunima's house, they did not find Landauer. Once they arrived, Landauer had already left for another journey. The guards were so angry and yelled at Sunima. They then went back to the palace and came to Sunima's house on the next day, but still Landauer was not home. The guards were furious and intended Sunima that hell will King Landauer. Hearing the threat, Sunima hysterically cried. It was not until their third visit that the guards could finally meet Landauer. Landauer, with hospitality and good manner, welcomed the guards, sick of them, in the sitting room, but those guards yelled at him instead. Landauer tried to still calm and once again politely asked them to go into sitting room. However, they outnumbered and killed Landauer to fight. Landauer was left with no choice but to accept the challenge. It was 1 against 6. It did not take long before Landauer won the fight, leaving his opponents and of the crown bleeding without any weapon. Landauer did not find any difficulty to defeat those 6 soldiers. Strangely, so the wet struck on Landauer's skin, although he was hit many times. The sword matched and slurred by those sly soldiers. At the end, the soldier badly wounded left Sunima front yard. The king was enraged to find his 6 soldiers entering the palace with injured, bleeding bodies, who felt so humiliated because his best soldiers were easily defeated. The king ordered the general accompanied by Archer to go to Sunima's house. This time, the king did not give an order to arrest Landauer, but to kidnap Sunima and put her in jail. This only was to hurt Landauer, the king told his soldier. The general a dozen of archers went Sunima's house at night. They successfully kidnapped Sunima after midnight because it happened at the injured time Landauer was usually not home. As the king ordered, Sunima was put behind bars. 2 days later, when they arrived from his journey, Landauer knew what happened in his mother. He was so sad to know his mother being kidnapped when his were not home. The next day, Landauer decided to go for a meditation before coming to the palace to bring his parents out of the prison, as well as his first free. He slipped the chlurit in his belt, then headed for Asta Guranggaring, shrine of Guranggaring, to meditate. Asta Guranggaring was where Landauer's spiritual teacher, Kiai Mahfud, was buried. After finishing his meditation, right after the midnight, a staff of a leg ran out into Landauer's body. Next, Landauer felt so light and warm, the leg disappeared in Landauer's body. It gave nothing. In fact, Landauer's chlurit also vanished along with the light disparate. After doing this prayer, Landauer tore asleep. After waking up, he found his body very big and tall, like a giant that he knew from his mother's stories. The big stone had the be sitting on while meditation smashed into pieces. Unable to take Landauer's extreme weight, carefully Landauer tried to get up. When standing upright, he was relatively large. He was hacked down Evental's coconut tree. Landauer moved his leg each time that he supped the ground. His foot sank 3 meters deep into the land, and while pulled his foot spring the people who easily scared Landauer's appearance. We were happy, and then we get to silver swords. People in droves rushed to the spring made by Landauer feet. The distance between one spring and another was 1 kilometer. The spring were led straight from the Asta Kuranggaring to the southwest. Once arrived in the place, Landauer stood before the gate. The king's soldiers gathered were shouting Landauer with arrow. But their aim was west. The cold harm Landauer. In fact, the arrow shot at once to touch Landauer's skin. Some soldiers ran scared. Landauer stood still and offered the palace that, in his eyes, was only the size of a bucket. All the prisoners smiled to see Landauer's appearance. King Dul Kemak Panakaron finally exploded fully equipped with his armor and weapon. He was surprised and found Landauer can't take figure. The king realized that he was only a big Landauer finger, but started to seize him and felt this weapon for not only a gift. When the king was still in hot confusion, Landauer stopped his feet once. At his feet in the crown, the palace roof complete and half a large crack. Landauer stopping feet caused earthquake. The soldiers take to move back because thousands of arrows were useless. After that, the king took out his clothes. The soldiers cried out for her. Hopefully, and finally died. The people and all prisoners shot through the cylinder victory. All of the king's soldiers on the next Landauer hand pulled and removed the prison bar with a gas. The prisoner went out with a hug cheer. Among the prisoners, the aberrant Sunima, Landauer's mother, who was holding an old man's hand. Landauer was so happy to meet his mother again. When Landauer attempted to culminate, his body suddenly shrunk to his normal size. His mother then introduced him to old man. It was Matali, Landauer's father, who has never seen before. Landauer, Sunima, and Matali hugged each other and cried. A few days later, people of Madopote decided to make Landauer is the king. However, Landauer chose to give back Madopote to Panembahan Mandaraga, the son of Panembahan Joharsan. Since then, there was no turtle or tax anymore. Great harvest came from rich and productive land. Landauer brought spring along the way from Astagurangguring to the palace, keep pushing out that the people on Madopote will never run out of water. They later on made wells from the springs and called in Tanto Well. The Tanto Well, believed to be Landauer footprints, continues to flow. They are only 3 meters deep. We can find those wells toward the southeast, starting from the east part of Lombang Beach to the palace. The distance between one well to the next is 1 kilometer. However, suddenly there are only few left. Some of them are located in small palace called Bangduak in the village of Gapura Timur.